I'm feeling a little messy, you know.
You feeling a little messy, girl? I always feel messy. I always feel messy.
Listen, because there's always a mess going on. But you know what? The reason why I feel
It's always messy.
is because I think I constantly step in mess. Like I'm not messy.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like in my path, to my purpose filled place, it's always a mess
Mm,
to get over. So I'm constantly, cleaning
mm,
boo boo off my shoe. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
hmm. Well, we got to figure out. I think that that's why this is an amazing time for us to talk together so we can talk about how we can clean up the boo boo off of the shoe. Because the thing about it is, if you don't clean the boo boo off of the shoe, there is a lingering smell that continues to just fester.
Yeah.
And then eventually, what happens is you get used to the smell, and then everybody else smells it, but you don't smell it
Yeah.
because you're used to the scent.
Yeah, because listen,
Mm,
listen, it's been said that if you sit down there long enough, you start to smell
long
like
enough.
shit. So you got to
You start to smell like
get
it.
up out of that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, today, y'all, we're going to talk about how our mess can become our message. I'm so excited about this topic. I'm so excited about this topic. We are in an official PK. So, hey, Mark, welcome in. Thank you for coming. So, go, Mark. Thank you. So, we are in an official. We got this little PK going, but as we are doing this friendly PK, you got your two favorite life coaches that are here to talk about how we're going to turn our mess into a message.
Exactly.
All right, you ready to talk
Listen,
about it,
I'm
sis?
always, I'm
Thank you.
always
Woo!
ready. Listen, because it is
Woo!
a good thing.
I wasn't
Uh,
ready. Oh man.
it's always a good thing. You get to
Ooh.
turn your pain into power, right?
Yes.
Like we
Yes.
all go through stuff. We all have painful situations. Listen, trauma happens to the best of us.
Yes.
But like we can't sit in it. Like if we're saying, when we sit there too long, misery likes company. And so you're gonna start to attract more mess. So if you keep sitting in these messy situations, you're just going to invite more mess into your life. And like who wants that?
Right. Right. Right.
Thank you, Mir.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who is joining in. Again, if you have not already done so, you need to be following the two of us. You need to be following the two of us. So, y'all make sure that y'all follow us. Y'all make sure that y'all share this live. We're talking about how we're going to turn our mess into a message. So, I want to get started, life coach, talking about the first mess, right? So,
Got
the
you. Let's go.
first mess that I know that I have experienced firsthand and, still kind of dealing with it, I guess, is heartbreak and relationship breakups. Heartbreak
Mm.
and relationship breakups.
So you just gonna start us out in the Heartbreak Hotel? Okay, come
I'm
on with it.
starting this
Let's go.
off in Heartbreak Hotel. Heartbreak,
Okay, let's go.
heartbreak. So listen. So when we talk about heartbreak and we talk about relationship breakups, I talk about this all the time where I say it truly is, it seriously, honestly is, or feels like it is it feels like we're going through grief, right? Like literally, we're going through grief. um and we had to go through that grieving process, going through that grieving process. Thank you. Going through that grieving process. We had to identify and acknowledge that we have lost a person who has been an integral part of our lives. And so that is no different than losing, like, the physical loss of a loved one. It's really truly the same thing. So, healing from
Right.
pain of a broken relationship, I love this. It teaches us resilience, it can teach us self love,
Mm.
and the importance of healthy boundaries. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about like the term resilience. The term resilience.
Hmm.
When you think about resilience, life coach, who do you what do you think about when you think about resilience? Or who do you think
My
about?
first thought was, so it's not one particular person, it's a community. And so anytime I hear the word resilience, for me, I first think about Black people,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like my people. We are very resilient. So yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind every single time. 10 out of 10, hands down. I'm rooting for everybody Black. Period. Just saying. Just
Yes. Yes. Just I'm just saying.
I
Like,
said
right,
what I
right. We just
said.
saying. We just saying.
I said what I said. Right? Strong women. No, and women too. Like initially, my first thought goes to Black people, but then my next thing goes to women.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's women of all
All
generations.
yes, all
Um,
generations. Yes.
yeah, yes,
Yes.
thank you. Yeah, so it's it's a lot that goes into it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yep, yep. So
Um,
yeah, so yeah, and when I think about resilience, I go back and I especially I'm glad that you talked about the women because I particularly I grew up in a family with nothing but women, right? Like buy
mhm,
black, buy women products. Yes, buy black and buy women products. I think about
mhm,
the women in my family and how, how they really while we had to struggle or while there was a level of struggle, the struggle was a point of I gotta survive. So I'm struggling, but I
mhm.
gotta survive. And so when I think about resilience, I think about survival. Like we do what we gotta do to survive. We do what we gotta do to maintain, to keep it together. So self-love, you are the self-care, self-love guru. Like you exude self-love and self-care. But when I think about self-love, I think about confidence and being confident in
Mhm.
yourself that no matter what goes on, you got you. No matter what happens,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
this person left my life, but I got me, right? And I'm going to
Yeah,
love me
check it out.
regardless of the loss or the separation of this other person. And and I've talked about this and I have other people who have talked about this as well, where they say, you know,
Mhm.
if your ability to love is reliant on somebody else, then
Mm.
that's a challenge. That's an issue. Because in order for
Absolutely.
you to truly, because then that's not love. That really is, it's honestly it's almost like it's an addiction. It's almost like
Mhm.
it's a, it almost comes off as if it is a it's a it's a point of you and we will talk about addiction. We're gonna talk about addiction, but
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
yeah, but it comes off like I can't survive without a person. Without that person, you have to be able to be able to handle and be able to move and maneuver on your own, right? And then of course, healthy
Mhm.
boundaries. We have to set healthy boundaries. We have to and stand firm on the fact that there are just certain things
That-
I'm not going to tolerate. Period. Period.
Exactly. Oh, let's not even get you started about tolerance again. Like you was
You know,
already
I
on
was
one the
on
other
I was
day.
on I was on that. I was on that yesterday. Because
Hmm.
and I want to drop that a little bit. Tolerance, when
Yeah.
we tolerate intolerance, the word tolerance is a negative connotation because the true
Right.
form of tolerance means we accept something that we really don't like. So we don't like your actions. We don't like how you talk. I don't like how you talk to me. I don't like how you treat me. I don't like the things that you do. So when we talk about tolerate, but even though I don't like it, but I'm still gonna deal with it. I'm still gonna settle with it because
Right.
just because, right? And so
Right.
again, I talked about the term was when we do that, we put our we allow their actions to take place on forbearance. We put we allow
Absolutely.
we put it on
Turn it on
forbearance.
layaway. put it on layaway. Yep.
Right. We put it on
They don't
layaway.
know nothing about
We put it on layaway.
they know about layaway. I put it on layaway, right?
And you end up
Yeah.
paying more. You end up paying more when you do stuff on layaway. You do realize
Yeah.
you're paying more. Right.
Yeah, because we are financing our feelings. It's like if we'd have just said what we said and let our no be no, we wouldn't have had to add that additional tax and that extra surcharge to it. So now all of a sudden you got to put your emotions on layaway. You got to put
Right.
your feelings on hold.
Right.
You got to press pause. And
Right.
you're the only one stuck at a crossroads. You're the
Right.
only one that's stuck at a standstill. Everybody else running off
Hey,
living their best
Shan.
life and you still sitting here
Right.
stuck in the
Right.
past. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
So and that's funny that you so when you said that, when you think about like the heartbreak in the relationship, you talked about grief. And that's our second thing, right? Thank you. When we think about the loss of a loved one, and I'm gonna piggyback off of what Tiff said, the loss of a loved one, in the sense that I'm serving is like the death of someone, right? But it doesn't have to mean like their physical death either. It could be the death of this
Yeah.
relationship,
It could be the
right?
death of the
The death
relationship.
of this
Right.
connection.
Right.
So it's like realistically, we're both kind of talking about the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, thank you.
Hey,
And
Mrs.
so, when we think about the loss of a loved one, you know, um, we've got to understand that yes, we all grieve differently, and grief is part of the process. It's going to look different for all of us. But what we have to stop and finally start to realize is that we're still here. And I know that to a lot of people, that sounds selfish because, when we're going through things and we're like, somebody has passed away. We got to remind ourselves we're still here. And as Tiff said, we've got to have this save ourself
Yes.
mentality. And the person that we're mourning wouldn't want us sitting here in sadness because they know ultimately they are in a happy place, right? They are in a place where they are feeling no more pain, no more stress, no more mess, right? A place that we all long to be in one day. But us still sitting here staying stuck in a period of grief and a period of sadness, constantly depressing, we're letting all our good days pass us by.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Whether it is the death of a loved one or the death of a relationship, a situation, a job, everything dies, you guys.
Right.
Everything ends. And we have to
Hey,
understand
Amy.
the reality of it is we're born to die. We all have an
We are.
expiration date. We just don't
We
know.
are. We just don't know when it
And
is.
so
Yeah.
exactly. So I know it sounds bad, but like at the end of the day, it's reality. And so we've got to start to accept some things and we really got to start being real with ourselves and learning how to just kind of let go of some things because there's some things we ain't got no choice but to let go of.
Mm-hmm.
And so I choose to, you know, not mourn, but honor the
Yes.
person.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
I don't want to mourn the sadness. I don't want to remember the bad things that have happened in the end. I want to remember the good times, right?
Yes.
Bask in the good moments,
Yes.
things like that. So that way I can kind of, start to heal and start to break down certain barriers and things.
Yes.
So it's no different than, Tiff was talking about with relationships, with jobs, with friendships. Honestly, our encounters with people on social media, baby. Sometimes you just gotta let it burn. Okay. And you gotta be a little mindful about what you tolerate, as Tiff taught
That's
us.
right. That's
Because when
right.
you tolerate the mess, then what you are doing ultimately is establishing a pattern of bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you finally get fed up and when you've reached your maximum capacity and you explode, now all of a sudden everybody looking at you like, well, you've been letting me do it.
Right. Right.
It wasn't a problem then. Why is it a
Right.
problem now?
Right.
So, like
Right.
like said, you gotta let your nose be nose. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
And set those boundaries, those healthy boundaries in advance, letting people know, hey, this is what I don't want. This is what I want. This is what I won't do. This is what I'm gonna do, and stand firm on it. So
Right.
I think whether it's a relationship, a job, a friendship, or the actual life lost. We've got to still save ourselves and bring ourselves back to the present. I can't do anything about that. It has ended, it is over, but I can keep living and I can keep going. And I can honor that person's memory rather than rehashing, their death.
Right.
the loss of them.
Right.
So
Right. So that leads us to a great so I'm actually looking in the comments, and Very Pretty, she's over on your side, but she asked a great question, and I
yeah.
did want to go back and address that when she said, "I heard a coach say completely disconnecting from your ex. What if you can't because of business?" All right. So I personally can talk about that myself. And that also leads into our next mess when we're talking about financial hardships. Okay. So I my last relationship, interestingly enough, my last relationship, my ex, we I involved him in a good bit of my my business endeavors, right? And I involved him so much that, you know, I y'all know I'm a host on here, but outside of being a host, you know, I have I'm doing my life coaching thing, but I'm also an actress, I'm also a vocalist. And so I involved my ex, or my ex was involved in my business ventures because I had gotten him involved when we were in the relationship, right? And we actually had established a whole business together called Rightfully Yours, which we actually write scripts, right? We do scripts. We turn a person's book into a script. And so we had started doing that.
Mhm.
So anytime I had projects and things of that nature, he would always be included in the project. But to your point, Barry, is that what I had to realize is that, and it took him to put me in this situation. And a life coach, I don't even know if I even told you this. He told me, of course, I had to I had to realize that me keeping him around even after we broke up was because of selfish means. It was because of selfish means. Because we're
Mhm.
not together, but as long as we're still doing business together, we technically still together. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's still in my good graces, and I still have an opportunity or a chance to, for him to see me
Slide on
and
back.
get slide on back
Yeah.
every time. Every time we have a meeting, I'm making sure that my makeup is done. I'm making sure, you said my
Okay.
ex-husband to be, I understand. Yeah. And so he and I were in a, we were in a relationship, right? And so what I will say for you, Very Pretty, is, since this is your ex-husband to be, that sounds like y'all are going to be going through a legal divorce, and y'all are going in court. Your best bet is to have that inclusive in your divorce decree. Make sure that you set those
Exactly.
boundaries. I'm telling you now,
Yeah.
speak. I am a divorcee. I've been divorced. Set it out and set those
Mhm.
boundaries clear. Whether that is him buying you out, you buying him out, or y'all just decide to equally dissolve, and he take whatever he earned, you take whatever you earn, and y'all separate it there. But my suggestion is,
Right.
let it go. Now, if you know that y'all can have a relationship where you will still be able to, I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't do it because I realized that it was selfish intent. So it was selfish intent on my part, but I didn't realize that it was selfish intent on my part until I realized that he also had selfish intent, because he told me to my face, he said, "Tiffany, I don't want to be, at this time, I don't want to be back. I don't want to get back with you." I said, "So, but
Mm.
why are you still doing these opportunities? And when I have something going on, you ignore, you gravitate to it and you do it." He said, "That's because you afforded me an opportunity."
Mm.
And so
Is that the bad behavior we was
that
talking
was the
about?
part of that bad behavior. So he
Yeah.
said, "You're affording me an opportunity. It, so in essence, I'm an opportunity." And he, in essence,
Yeah.
has become an opportunist, because as long as I extend the olive branch, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Of course.
Yeah. Of course.
You extended
Yeah.
it.
That's good business.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good business.
Right. He can't. I don't want to be with him. I think that's his motive. Okay. So if you know that that's his motive, Barry, you got to establish those healthy boundaries, which is what we talked about in the first part. Go ahead and go ahead and put that in the decree. Like, say, "Hey, I want to dissolve. I want to dissolve whatever business establishments that we have, whatever business
Right.
investment. I want to dissolve this. And if that, and if you got to get you an attorney, or whether you have, or whether y'all are going through, oh Lord, um, I forgot the term.
Like a mediation.
A mediation, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's going through mediation, whatever it is, congrats. Whatever it is that you got to do, go ahead and set those boundaries. We keep paying. Are we gonna PK again?
Yeah. Once it counts down,
Okay.
we'll do
Okay.
3 of them.
Hey,
So that way
Leonard,
we get the
welcome
whole time.
in. Welcome in. So, yes, so financial hardship, overcoming financial difficulties can highlight the value of budgeting. It can highlight the value of financial planning and the strength found in perseverance and resourcefulness. So, for you, Barry, what I will say, she said, yes, please. We were still gonna talk even if we didn't do the PK girl. We got you. We got you. We're gonna be on here for an hour. So we're gonna be here at least till 2 o'clock. So we got you, love. But
Right.
but when we're talking about financial hardships, in this case, Barry, you at this point, you have the ability to set the tone, right? See, you talked about 28,000 in debt. See, and so
My heart just
yes, my
stopped
heart
for baby.
absolutely goes out to you. Absolutely. But here is what I know. You can overcome that. And I'm gonna tell you, as a divorcee, because I've been through it, so I know exactly how you feel because I went through it. My ex-husband tried to take, and we ain't even gonna talk about the physical things that he did to me, but he also tried to abuse me financially, and took me through the ringer. But what I will tell you, very pretty, is because y'all are going through this litigation, whether it's mediation or you have to go through the court, whether you have to go through your attorneys, now is the time to set the record straight. So if you had 28,000 in debt, one of the ways that you could do that is, okay, it could be dissolved. Number one, you got the business. Do you, if you all own a home, do you own a home together? Because if y'all own a home together, okay, well, sell the house, and that can, that can help you with your, with your debt situation by selling the home, basically liquidating any assets that y'all acquired in the marriage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And you could just say, I want to liquidate. I want to, you know what I'm saying? If he want to keep it,
Right.
okay, you can keep it, but you going to
Buy
have to
me
pay
out.
my port. Yeah,
Buy me out.
buy me out.
Exactly.
Oh, you said
Put
just
it
the
in my hand.
business. Okay. Well, like I said, he can buy out your half of the business. He could buy out
Right.
your, or if he don't want to do that, then what you do is you tell your attorney that you want, in the divorce decree, you're turning over all rights of the business, and that you are removing your name from any financial or legal obligation of the business, and that will eliminate the $28,000 debt on you. You see what I'm saying? A good attorney will argue that for you. If he want to keep the business,
Right.
that's fine. Keep the business. Keep the business if that's what you want to do. But you remove me from obligation.
Exactly. Free me up.
Free me
Because
up.
at the end of the day, you listen, you already had to do what you got to do to get out of this
That's
marriage. What
right.
you don't want to do is carry on the weight that accumulated during the marriage.
Correct. Correct.
Right. And I really feel like that's going to lead us up to the next messy situation, which was health issues. So
Yes.
if you don't take the opportunity to address these finances, address these issues that you've got going on, then all of a sudden we start to increase our chances of having these health issues, right?
Yes.
We start dealing with chronic issues. We start getting into anxiety and depression. We are damaging our heart. Like, so not only did this relationship or this loss of a person break our heart, but we are literally breaking our hearts
Yes.
by dealing with and
Literally.
processing this unaddressed trauma, unaddressed mess, right? And so we've got to really, make sure that we're spending time pouring back into ourselves. We got to go to the doctor, people. A lot of us is paying for insurance and we ain't using it.
Ain't
I'm gonna
using
need
it.
y'all to take y'all's tip. I'm gonna need y'all to schedule these doctor's appointments. I'm gonna need y'all to get these checkups. I'm gonna need you to advocate for yourself. I know, especially as a Black woman, that it is very difficult for us to really get in and get the help that we need sometimes because we're constantly disregarded. What's up, Brooks?
How are you,
We are
Brooke?
constantly disregarded and silenced and not heard, right? But we have to keep speaking for ourselves. Thank you, love. We got to keep speaking up for ourselves and
Right.
keep saying, hey, you know, what I'm experiencing, this is what is happening. And that's not just our physical pain, you guys, that is also our mental pain.
Yes.
Um, we are not feeling well, when things are not right, if we notice that it's taking us too long to get over that breakup, right?
Hey, Uncle
Or
Wes.
I can't seem to get over that, you know, the loss of my loved one, or you know, my financial situation is burdening me, and I can't get it off my mind. I can't get over it, right? We need to start talking to these mental health professionals, get
Yes.
you a therapist,
Yes.
get you a life coach, join these social groups that have people
Thank
who
you,
are
Sister
have been in
T.
this experience, who know a thing or two about it. Otherwise, you are literally going to break yourself down.
Yes.
You're slowly killing. The
Yes.
longer that you try to go into these situations, all about, you know, trying to focus so much on the problem or trying to spare somebody else's
Else's
feelings,
feelings
you're
for, yep,
sacrificing your
sacrifice,
own.
self
You know,
sabotaging
and I
ourselves.
don't.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't understand it for the life of me. And I know y'all, we all works in progress, and I might be a little more advanced in my self care than y'all at this point, but you can get there.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? So it's like I refuse to make somebody else a priority and leave myself as an option.
Yes.
Like, where is that at?
Yes.
Like, why do I put my own needs on the back burner for the greater good of everybody else when everybody else ain't recognized that I'm hungry, I'm
Right.
starving, I'm
Right.
suffering,
Right.
that I'm sick,
Right.
right? So you got to prioritize your self care first.
That's right.
And I know y'all be sick and tired of us saying it, but it's the only thing that y'all seem to understand. When the plane is going
It's going
down,
down.
you got to
Yes, they
gas
tell you to what?
on yourself.
Save yourself first.
And if it's good enough for United Airlines, Spirit Airlines, Southwest Airlines, Delta, Northwest, Australia, whatever airline you on, before your plane even leaves the runway,
That's right.
they done set the rules for you.
That's right.
And if it can get me from here to China safely, why can't it work in our day-to-day life
Come
as
on
we head
now.
across the street?
I know that's right.
Put the mask on yourself, save yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna be popping pills because you're gonna have high blood pressure, diabetes,
Yes.
you gonna have all sorts of mess and stress. And then that's just
Mm,
going to add to the financial burden because you got to pay for these expensive
absolutely.
medications. You got to keep going
Absolutely.
to the doctor, only to be stressed and filled with anxiety because you already think they're not listening to
That's right.
you, for you to then, you know, have mess within your relationships because you can't even say what you want to say. So how do you expect your partner to understand what you're going through? Because you
Exactly.
won't articulate your what?
Yes.
Because you hiding in the closet
Yes.
somewhere sad.
Yes. Yes.
You see what
Yes.
I mean? So you
Yes.
wonder why you can't have a
Yes.
relationship because you ain't saved your
That's right.
save yourself.
That's right.
So yeah,
And another thing, since we're talking about, black and brown women, since I want to highlight that for whatever reason, we as black and brown women, we are so we are such nurturers and such givers that we always self-sacrifice ourselves. And so we have to
absolutely
get out of the mentality of sacrificing us, not caring for us for somebody else.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the kids, whether it's the man, whether it's the job, whatever it is, or whether it's the church. For those of you who go to, for those of you who go to church, every time you turn around, the doors of the church open and you there. That puts a strain
Mhm.
on you. That
Lead
has,
in every ministry, you
yeah,
in
you
charge.
in every ministry, you in the choir, you ushering, you on the pastor's age, all of these things.
Feeding the
Even
homeless.
even though you may think that is harmless and it's helpful, but it really is impeding a burden on you. Like, I'm not being funny. We got to be cognizant of those things. So sometimes even the things that we think are helping us are oftentimes still kind of hurting us if it's not done
Exactly. It's
health,
a strong
if it's not done being done healthily. You see what I'm saying? So we
right.
gotta pay attention to that. So talking about especially the job, which leads right into our next mess, are those career setbacks, right? We have had a job. We love the job. Don't mind going to work, but they tell us, "Oh, we got a company merger, and we looking at positions, and we don't
We got to downsize.
we got to downsize."
We got to
And sometimes that adage of last to hire, first to fire, that happens because that has happened to me a few times. Or
absolutely
ageism, we know that that happens. That they sometimes, some of these jobs, they will age you out. Okay, we won't the 20 and the 30-year old in the position. But if you in your 60s and you're close
right.
to retirement, we want to aid you. We want to aid you on out or force you into retirement. So job loss, even sometimes just changing a career. We made the decision to change our career and get a new job. Oftentimes that
Right.
can create a mess because oftentimes the grass ain't always greener on the other side.
And ain't.
We
And
work
ain't.
from a situation at this job thinking that the next job is going to be greener pastures, it's going to be better, and we leave one mess to possibly get into a bigger mess. That
Get over there in that grass astroturf. You done
it's
found out that
it
it's
ain't even
fake.
real grass.
That's why it's so green.
It ain't
So
even real
green.
grass. Right.
That
So that career changes, even professional failures. I will be the first to talk about this. That I really thought you said this was meant for me. Income decrease due to layoffs. Yeah, see, God is very
so
intentional in giving us what we need when we need it. We just got to pay attention to it. So I am
absolutely.
blessed. I am blessed to know that me and my sister can be a blessing to you and talk about these things, because guess what? At the end of the day, there is victory in all of this. And so while we're talking about these messes, there is a bigger message, is that you can survive all of this. You may just need a little guidance. You
Absolutely.
may need some time, but you can survive it. We can get past it. And here's
Absolutely.
the harsh reality is, as much as I hate to say this, but you ain't the first and you won't be the last who's gone through it.
Won't be the last. Baby. Listen, listen. And when we think about that too, it's like everybody always gets stuck on the setback,
Yes.
right? And not realizing that the setback is the setup
Set
to
up
your
for a
comeback.
comeback. Yes.
Baby. And
Yes.
and and the comeback is always stronger than what the setback actually
Yes.
was.
Yes.
So when we speak of like career setbacks, I'll use myself as an example. In December, I had been on this job for like 10 years, right? And y'all, I didn't like my position. And I was very adamant and very clear on not liking my position, but I was also quite comfortable working there. I worked from home. I had freedom to do what I wanted to do. So I was like, listen, y'all, I ain't gonna never quit this job unless they fire me, right?
Wow.
Well, I ended up, well, what had
Well,
happened was in December, it was like, they was probably like, she don't really want to be here anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I was empowered to do other things. That's a nice way of saying I was let go, laid off, right? So I was empowered to go do other things. But what I had to realize is that I was comfortable, and the universe recognized that I was comfortable, but I was miserable in that comfort.
yes.
So I kept complaining about not having the freedom to do what I knew that I was being pushed and led to do. So I had to have something different happen. You know how they say nothing changes if nothing changes?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to change anything, and I was comfortable and it was safe. Even though I knew that there was potential on the other side of that job, it was safe. And so when I got uncomfortable, when I lost my job, January 1st, I was a free agent and I was like, what do I do? oh, you do what you've been complaining that you couldn't do. You go out there and you be great. You go out there and you be obedient. Hey, Wanda, it's like you go out there and you be obedient. And if it wasn't for me getting pushed,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
I had to get pushed out of that situation
Yes.
in order for me to realize that that job was actually holding me back.
That's right.
That check that I was getting, that I was so comfortable in getting, was just a crutch, but it was also a block stopping me. And so in that aspect, when I looked at that, that setback of me losing that job was just the setup for me to come back and do what I should have been doing all
All the
along,
time.
which was prioritizing my business and helping other people.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
so when I look back at it now, like 6 months in, oh, I look back at that now and I'm like, forget that little job. I ain't need that job. We good. We fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you got to understand sometimes there's a bigger picture. And the whole message that we have for y'all today is that there's always a message in the mess that you were going through.
Yes.
So no matter what it is, what the situation is, there's always a lesson to be learned. And if
Yes.
you want to get through the mess quickly, then spend a little time focusing on what the lesson is.
Correct.
What do I need to learn?
Correct.
And there's a cheat code. You just ask God, what do I need to learn from this?
And if you
Okay,
and if you
Lord, listen,
can't
I'm
do
listening.
it, and if
What
you
is you
can't
telling
get it from God, you got people like me and sis here who do this professionally to help you figure it out. Let's talk about
me? Absolutely.
let's talk about it. You know, so
Absolutely.
so going back to the message in these career setbacks is that our professional failures can underscore the significance of adaptability. You got to pivot and move, like sis said. You know, January she was like, "Okay, let me pivot. Let me do what do I know that I'm great at? I'm going,
Right.
I'm I should be doing this anyway." So adaptability,
Right.
lifelong learning. Since all of this happened, since it's gotten so many certifications to be a better life coach for other people. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
lifelong learning and finding passion in your work. And we absolutely are very passionate about the things that we do for others, helping others. We're very
Ab-
passionate about that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you ready? You ready
We
to move
ready for the
forward?
next one? Yeah.
Y'all okay? We didn't do a lot of mess on y'all. We still got a little more. Y'all
We
good?
got
Y'all
some
all
more.
right
We
out
got some
there?
more mess. We got some more mess. We got 20 more minutes, y'all.
All right, y'all. Listen. So let's talk about addiction and recovery.
Mm,
It's one of the things that a lot of people don't want to talk about.
mm.
Um, when I think of addiction and recovery, it's not just alcohol. It's not just drugs, right?
Yes.
Some of us are addicted to toxic ass relationships.
Yes, Lord.
Some of us, some, cause I'm just saying. I'm
I'm
gonna speak for
sorry. I'm
some of
sorry.
my
She stepped on
single.
my toe. I think you might have stepped on my toe, sis. My bad. My
Listen,
bad.
I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna speak for some of my single peeps out there, where y'all just addicted to that toxic,
Addicted. Addicted.
right, right, to the toxic, you know what I'm saying? And so y'all entertaining this community peen, and
Right.
the girls that's for the streets and the sheets type of relationships, right? And so, when we think of addiction, it's anything, honestly, they say too much of anything can be bad,
Can be
right?
bad.
So even too much of a good thing could be bad, and you can become addicted to it. So when we start getting into this and we start thinking about overcoming addiction, this can offer us a profound message and understanding the strength of a human, right? And the willpower that we all hold, understanding that we've got to start to tap into like these support systems, and realize that, okay, even though this is where I am, or this is the period of my life where, let's say, I'm stuck in this situation, I'm addicted to this relationship, this situation, this drug, this alcohol, that does not define who I'm going to be.
Right.
So who I am today or who I was yesterday does not define who I'm going to be in the future. So I still have potential. Even though I might have been addicted to drugs, I could have been a crackhead out here, right? I still hold worth. My life
Hey,
still has
Claudia.
meaning. My life still has value, right? So you still have the ability to overcome anything
That's right. That's
and
right.
every single thing. So, like I said, whether it's a relationship, whether it's an actual drug, whether it is alcohol, whatever it is, you still have the ability. You still deserve to heal. And, no matter what other people say, it's like when we're on this journey to healing, you're always going to have somebody who tries to tell you, oh, well, she used to be a hoe. And
That
I
part.
used to be. Mind your business.
That part.
Right? Like, mind your business. I'm not a hoe no more. What do you say? I've been delivered. I'm not a hoe
I was
no more.
delivered.
Okay? So I was delivered. I don't do that no more.
I'm a hoe for my husband.
So,
What they say? I'm a hoe for my husband now.
right, exactly. I'm just saying. I mean, I be tricking a little, just a little,
but if
but
it,
the
but it ain't
bed
tricking
is,
if you got
it ain't tricking.
it. Oh Lord.
But regardless, of where you come from or where you're presently at right now, it's still the sky's the limit, you guys. And honestly, there is no limit, right? We're not even going to cap it at the sky. You still have the ability and the potential to achieve great things. And we all fall short, right? We all mess up. We all sin.
Mhm,
So there's no mess that you can't get through. Like there's no mess that you can't heal from.
mhm.
We can't erase it, but why would we want to? There was a lesson in it, right? So why would I want to erase it? Every single thing that I had to go through in my life, every single heartache, heartbreak, toxic, you know, although the sex might have been great, but the ass whooping that he served was not in my best
That
interest
part.
type of relationships, right?
That part.
Like the community peen that we got used to where I knew everybody he was with, but he sleeps with me at night. He comes home
He
with me
comes
at
home
night.
with me.
Listen, all yeah, he comes home with me and he pays the bills here. I know that he has other baby mamas, but I'm the first. I'm the priority. Girl, bye. Listen, it doesn't
Or
matter.
or he
Every
lives
single
here. He lives here with me and the baby. Like he lives with me and my child. Terrible. Terrible.
nonetheless, you can still grow through it, you guys. Like there's literally nothing and no situation that we can't grow through.
Mhm.
But you still have to it's like with every 12-step program. The first step is acknowledging that there's a problem.
Yep.
And for some of us, the reason
Thank
why
you,
we
Miss
can't
Wanda.
acknowledge that it's a problem is because we're the problem.
That's right.
And don't nobody want to pull their own coattail.
That's right.
But like at the end of the day, I know that in every single toxic relationship that I had in the past, I was the common denominator. It was me.
Yep.
So when people are saying, why do you feel like you went through this? Why do you feel like you went through that? Oh baby, it was me. I was toxic as hell.
Hmm.
Even though I didn't serve toxic energy, honey, I accepted every single toxic thing that you wanted to give me. The more toxic, the better. I was like, I like a roughneck. Look, I like a little thug.
That's right.
Till you realize that he wanted that thug passion.
That's
Till
right.
you realize he want to go upside your head.
Right. Right.
So, so Blue said, I used to think like seriously, like punch them.
But slap me so you love me more. That's right. You got through it though. It's the part. It's the fact that you got through it, sis. It's
Listen,
okay.
and
We
I know
understood what you was trying to say. I know it came out all wrong, but we understood. We understood what you was trying to say. We understood
we
what you was
all
trying to say.
we all resonated.
See, we all
We all
resonated.
resonated
We all
with
resonated that. Thank you, Miss One.
guys that messed up like girl.
Listen, it
But it
all
was
resonated.
yeah,
But here, but
but
see, but that
it
that
was
that leads right into our next mess, which is family dysfunction. That leads right into it, because we realize that some of our family is just dysfunctional. She say,
a whole
"Damn,
shit
voice
show.
text." Right. That's why I don't use it half the time. Because if you don't put that period and that comma in there, child, it'll run all this stuff together.
Punctuation,
Thank
all
you.
shit it is.
Yes, yes. But family dysfunction. Family dysfunction. I think. You know,
I don't even know if we should give you the topic of family after yesterday,
you
baby.
know what? Listen, when I tell you that you yet again see that see you said I don't want to go in the cards to talk for us to do this today, but then you gave me all of the
I tried to be.
odds. You gave me all of the odds, so it was like the good Lord just wanted me to talk about all these things. Just want to talk because we gonna talk about this family dysfunction.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Our actual biological family and these and the dysfunction of these sometimes these surrogate families that we have, these
Go
Hanai
ahead,
families,
say it.
these Hanai families,
Bigo, the Bigo,
the Bigo
the
family,
Bigo.
whether
Right,
it's
right.
Bigo, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, these social media families.
Facebook,
We
exactly.
what I will say is that if you grew up in a dysfunctional family or a dysfunctional environment, what happens is, and this is clinically, I'm giving y'all clinical research, real research. Children who grew up in dysfunctional or very toxic family environments, they become numb to the toxicity and the dysfunction when they are adults. So by the time they're grown, like when they're grown, they don't understand the significance and the impact of that dysfunction or that toxicity when they were growing up. And so they thrive and they actually function. There are some people who cannot function in a pure, loving, peaceful environment. I
Healthy
know
life.
people.
Exactly.
I know people like that. Like it's too, or and even in personal relationships, like oh, it's too good to be true. Like it's got to be something. Then you literally formulate in your mind, in your head, that there has to be. And we've all heard people say it's got to be something wrong. Absolutely, got to be something wrong.
Here,
Hey, first lady,
here.
it's got to be something wrong.
You start to self
It's
sabotage.
self
Yeah, you
sabotage.
start to self
Yeah,
sabotage. You create mess.
right,
It's like you become a disruptor of peace
right,
because you are used to your peace being
right.
disrupted.
Being
And so if
disrupted.
it's too quiet, you gotta walk in and just fuck shit up. Like
Right.
there's no other way to say
There's no
it.
other way to
The
say
whole
it.
relationship
Hey, my
going
love.
good. Yeah. The whole relationship can be going good and all of a sudden you like, he too good to be
He too
true.
good to be
No, he
true.
just healthy,
She too good to be
healed.
true. No,
Like
she
he
healed. She healthy.
healed.
Yes. Yes. And the same thing with with our families on here. Like, we are so inclined to seeing disruption, and we are so inclined to seeing crazy toxic things, it and even with our lives outside of even the things that we see, we are so busy, we are so used ingrained to seeing it, that we drive. It's like it's a driver, like it's like it has really become an addiction, honestly, because we are
Mm-hmm.
addicted
Absolutely.
to that toxic behavior. Thank you, Miss Wanda. And so the thing is that once we recognize that there is dysfunction, once we recognize it, right? Once we see it, that, okay, this is truly dysfunction, what happens is that allows us to highlight the importance of having healthy relationships, establishing personal boundaries, healthy boundaries from people who are toxic and not like minded as we are, or even breaking the negative cycles. We talk about generational curses and breaking generational curses. Well, what does that look like? How do we do that? It starts with us, it starts with
Right. You
me.
got to start talking. You got to start talking about it. Like,
Yeah.
we always talk about, we grew up. Listen,
What was
all
this
the
say?
black people
What go on in this house?
exactly stays in this house. That's why we suffering now.
That's why we
That's
suffer.
why what went on in the house 20 years ago, 30 years ago,
Right,
50 years ago is
right,
still happening now
right.
because we ain't broke no chains.
That part. That
Okay?
part.
What we've done is gone to the store and upgraded the chains.
Right.
In fact, as the chains were breaking, we were going to Home Depot and mending them damn chains.
Absolutely.
We then mended the chains, We done built fences. Hell, many of us done built a damn wall to keep the
Wow.
toxic shit in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
Because
won't
we
talk
listen,
about what
because the entire family knew that Uncle Junebug was a pedophile. But we ain't gonna talk about it. We just gonna make sure that all the little girls in the family don't go over there to Uncle Junebug house. You
don't
know what I'm
sit
saying?
on
We,
Uncle's
we
lap.
not we not
Don't
gonna go.
sit on his
Don't
lap.
go. Don't go to Uncle Junebug. Don't go to Uncle Junebug house. Don't go in Uncle Junebug room. We at the family reunion. All right, now you stay away from Uncle Junebug. Don't go off nowhere with Uncle Junebug. Y'all all knew that Uncle Junebug was a pedophile, but y'all won't put this behind in jail. Y'all knew that
Listen,
he touched this person, that person, but y'all, you see what I'm saying? These are the types of things that happen.
right. Well, and many of the times they don't even know that they done touched different people because ain't nobody
Well,
saying
that's because
nothing.
nobody
So
said
now
something.
you
That's true too now. That's
yeah,
true.
so now it's like the babies can't come to you and
But
say
I
nothing
but I know
because
families, I
you
know
don't
families
create a
where they knew it.
environment.
I know families where they knew it.
Yeah. And still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like then we create these environments where the silence is key. Like
Yep.
you don't talk about it because that's your strength.
That's
That's
your
why we
yeah.
having a hard time now going there.
Yeah.
That's why we having a hard time now talking about it, speaking our truth, understanding things because everybody's nervous. Everybody's scared of being judged.
Right.
Baby, listen, can't nobody judge you because sad to say, most of us have been touched. Most of us have been violated. Most
Absolutely.
of us have been abused,
In some
neglected,
way, some shape,
abandoned.
form, or fashion.
Listen, I didn't realize until I was in a 10-year relationship with a complete alcoholic that my dad was a functional alcoholic.
Yep. Yep.
And it wasn't until like I entertained this relationship with this man that I was with for 10 years because it's what I grew up seeing. My dad was a DJ. So I grew up in the club. You know what I mean? Like literally I'm in the bar. I'm in the club at a very early age with
Yep.
my dad because it's just this is normal. This is life for me. When
Mm-hmm.
you're with someone
Mm-hmm.
who's in that type of entertainment business,
Mm-hmm.
it's life for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so I'm in the club, I'm in the bar, and I see drinks and stuff all the time. I'm not tempted to do it because at this point I understand this is an adult thing. I'm a child, right? But when I am now an
Welcome
adult
in.
and I'm
Thank
in a
y'all for coming.
relationship with a man who is not in the entertainment field, but he's a drinker. And so he's drinking and drinking and drinking, and it's normal to me because I've grown up seeing it. Thank you, beautiful. And so it's like it's normal to
Thank
me.
you,
I've grown up seeing
love.
it. So it doesn't matter. But I ended up I allowed this person or I established this pattern of bad behavior with him because it's what I seen with my dad.
Right.
And so it was normal to me. But then when it became
Thank you.
unnormal or not normal for me was when he, meaning my ex-boyfriend, crossed the line to putting his hands on me.
Wow.
Now, see that's the part that wasn't normal because see, my dad wasn't abusive. My dad didn't hit us. My dad didn't hit my mom. My dad barely raised his voice. In my entire life, my dad had only ever slapped me 4 times,
Wow.
maybe 4 times. But I can remember every single situation, and I deserved more than that slap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I disrespected my mama on every occasion,
Right.
and I got a quick little slap to check me.
Right.
But other than that, so it wasn't until that relationship that I was in
Thank you.
escalated. And it would never have escalated if I would have not established this, me being comfortable with him drinking.
Right.
So I had to go through all of that. And then, we got to the damn near Ike and Tina knockdown drag out situation.
Wow.
You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? And so that's when all of a sudden it was a problem for me. And so when I brought it to his attention, he's like, well, you been letting me do it. Like it ain't been a problem in 9 years, but I'm like, well, you ain't hit my ass in 9 years, but this is new. And the alcohol is intensifying it, knowing that the 9 years built up to that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I encourage it every single time, and now it's a problem.
Right. Right.
When it should have been a problem all along,
Right.
you
And
know?
yeah, and that's the thing that we have to be very careful, that we have to be very careful about when we've grown up in these dysfunctional type of environments, we how does, you know, you said I hate alcohol. I get it. So, we when we're in these dysfunctional type environments or these dysfunctional families, and we grew up with that, we have to acknowledge and realize how that impacts us. you know
Hmm.
look for what you just said. You hate alcohol. Okay, well, here's the thing. Like, for me, I had to acknowledge, like, that I had a problem when it came down to alcohol at one time. And the reason why is that mine was established when I was a child.
Mm.
My grandfather used to drink. He was a functional, talking about the functional alcoholics. He was a functional.
Hmm. Right, right,
And my grandfather, I was such a high sprung child, because, again, my family didn't realize or didn't understand my gifts, right? That me being an empath, me having, prophetic, or prophetic abilities, my being able to, as a child, they said that I used to see spirits and things like that. And I used to talk to spirits. And so, what, because I was so high strung, again, that term, back then, and the term now was ADHD, right? But I was very high strung as a
right.
child. But it was because I was picking up on all of these energies and these entities. They didn't understand that. So what they used to do was they
Absolutely.
used to give me beer in my baby bottle to calm me down. So I'm 1, 2 years old. They would give me beer because that would keep me from being so high strung. Yeah. And so I started literally, I started drinking when, really, honestly and truthfully, when I started walking. Um and so
Right,
it was because they wanted to keep me from being so high strung. So by the time I was like 4, hey, Mr. Maintenance Man, so by the time I got 4 or 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? I'm 4, 5, 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? I would go, okay, we got. I've heard of those tactics. Yeah, look for what. So they would take, alcohol and put it in my baby bottle or whatever. And so then when I got older, when I'm 4 or 5, I would go and just, or 5 or 6 years old, I would just go and take a beer and just turn it up. And so
right.
my family can say, because my mom tells this story. I think the first time that I probably always did get intoxicated. You know what I'm saying? But I would just fall out. I would just go to sleep. But I literally got drunk. The first time I remember getting drunk was at age 6. So
Mm.
having that, realizing, and now fast forwarding to now, you know what I'm saying? Although I don't nearly drink as much as I could, or, I could, but for me, realizing and understanding that I have an extremely high tolerance for alcohol, or
Right.
had an extremely high tolerance for alcohol, because it was imparted upon, it was forced on me, because they wanted to keep my
Absolutely.
little talkative, crying, sensitive ass at bay. And so these are the things we're talking
Exactly.
about dysfunctional families, and the toxic things that happen in our families that then impact us as children, right? That
Right.
impacts
And
us,
it's not
and then impacts us and once we become adults.
exactly. And I mean, in that same story that she explained, even if you take the alcohol out of the equation, as children, we don't really have a say so in the environment that we're in. So whatever our ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, whoever is raising us, right? Whatever environment that they put us in, down to the household, your neighborhood, your city, whatever it is, when you are served constantly this same thing. So like when you're in a community and let's say it's a high crime, right? A lot of gangs, a lot of violence, a lot of toxic energy. If you are in a household where the women are constantly being abused
Mhm.
or the children are constantly being neglected, it is the same thing. All of a sudden, you start to develop this high tolerance for it,
Right.
right? And so now that you're older, you've stepped away, you've got out of that community, whatever, but you still have that craving for it. You still have that desire for it. And so you're looking for something that looks or
Looks
resembles what you're
resembles it.
used to.
Resembles it. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's the problem we get into with these people on social media, because even though we are, the people who are really trying to build something positive, right? Like our family, for example, we really try to come together and build something positive. But unfortunately, we are dealing with a lot of people who are used to operating in a place of
And
dysfunction.
dysfunction.
And so exactly. And so they don't even recognize that they're bringing the mess. So there are a lot of people who say, "Oh, I'm not messy," or "I'm no drama," or "I'm not toxic," when realistically, baby, you are
You
all
are
messy,
all of the
all drama,
above.
and
Yeah.
very yeah. And so, we just get used to it because we've been groomed for years into this. We've been conditioned to thinking that this is normal because this is what we normally grew up in. This is normally what we grew up with. And so that of course leads us to our next
Welcome
mess.
in.
We talk about mental health struggles.
Yes.
Listen, I think we're past the point of people wanting to place blame or call people crazy, because newsflash, y'all, we all a little
We all got a
crazy.
dysfunction,
We all.
a level of dysfunction.
You cannot have made it. I'm 45, y'all. You cannot have made it 45 years and not be a little crazy. If
Mhm.
nothing else, anybody who was alive
Welcome
during
in,
COVID,
everybody.
you crazy, right? If you lived through COVID, if you done made it through the 2020s, baby, you
You
crazy.
cray cray.
You a
Real.
little bit crazy. And I think COVID is when it proved to us that everybody a little bit
Everybody has a
crazy.
level of crazy.
Everybody. And so, it's because of all of these things that have happened. And see, now what's different now versus when we were children is that we have the internet. So all of these same things that we're dealing with now were things that we were dealing with then, but
Yeah.
nobody knew about it.
Yes.
Because what happened in your house stay in your house, right? But now with the internet and everybody want to have a cell phone out and report everything, all of a sudden what happened in your house happens all over TikTok. What happens in your house is trending on Twitter. What happens in your house is all over social media. And that's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But I think the beautiful part about it is we're also now using these same avenues to help each other, because we know that hurt people, but I bet y'all didn't know that healed people heal
That's
people.
right.
Right.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So you can't have one without the other.
That's right.
And you get to choose. Do I want to be a hurt person who keeps showing
That's
up hurting
right.
people?
That's
Or do
right.
I want to be a hurt person who heals so I can then heal people?
Yes. Yes.
And so we've got to start to understand that, what, we're all a little bit mad. We're all a little bit crazy, and with good reason. With good
For
reason,
good reason.
because life be life and earth is ghetto.
Right. Right.
If no other reason for you to be crazy, earth is ghetto.
It really
And
is.
we all live.
It really is.
So go ahead.
And well, I was going to say that leads into the next mess that we wanted to talk about bullying and harassment. And just because we are adults, that doesn't mean that we still don't get harassed. That does not still mean that we get bullied, because now it's happening in a social media environment,
And it's worse than ever
and it's
now.
worse than ever. Body shaming happens. I'm looking at, somebody is show like right now, I've been looking at there's a young lady who she's going viral. I mean, she's always had this, she was a very voluptuous woman. She went to Disney World, and people were looking at her and they were taking pictures and snapshotting because she is very large at the bottom, but she's small at the top. The reason why that is, thank
Yeah.
you, Raul. The reason why that is because she did get a tummy tuck and get cinched up here, but her butt, her hips, her thighs, and all of that is legitimately and tangibly her, and people are on the internet talking about, oh, she shouldn't be walking around a theme park looking like that. There's kids and she got a BBL and talking about all of these things. And she said she did. She said the only work that she got done was that she did get she did get a tummy tuck and got some lipo at the top. She was like, but everything else on her is legitimately her. And the fact that people
Right.
are body shaming, but they're on social media body shaming her, and now her video has gone viral and they're sharing. Look at this, and everybody's talking about, even truth be told, even us. Now we're talking about it because other people put it out. So now bullying and harassment now comes in the form of social media, in the form of Bigo. I've seen
Right.
this. You on a panel and people cussing each other out and yelling and talking crazy and all kind of things. And you're seeing this, and I'm like, what? Why? What is this for?
Why?
I'm
What?
not trying to be funny, but I'm not about to sit here and argue back and forth with a person who ain't doing a damn thing for me. Especially
Listen.
not in no platform on here. I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to entertain my energy or none of that. I'm not trying to. I had somebody come in and come into my live a few weeks ago. I know Miss Wanda remember. I don't know if Miss Wanda, I think Miss Wanda might have been in there, but the person came in and said to my ill, and I was like, it was like, oh wow, or something to that effect. And so I was like, well, what's the problem? You came into my live. What's the problem? And it was like, somebody, are you trans? They literally asked me if I was trans. And so the only thing that I can equate to them thinking that I was trans is because of my voice. But y'all as my family, y'all know that the reason why my voice sounds like this is because I have been suffering from laryngitis almost for 2 months. And so now I have to go to an ENT. Doctor has already told me that I need to stop talking. Yeah, whatever. Um,
Good luck with
Good
that.
luck with that.
Like, I'm like, good luck.
Good luck with that. But at that time I wasn't talking as light as I am now. And so I was like, or maybe it might have been my bone structure. I don't know. But came in my room and automatically assumed that I was trans and was just like, oh, that's ugly. Ew, ew. And I'm like, I'm not even trans. Like, but I'm not going to sit here and argue back and forth with you about you trying to tell me what my identity is, which actually goes into the next thing. I'm not about to sit here and go. I'm not about to do that. I'm a naturally born woman.
Right.
I have 2 kids. I got a whole C-section. Y'all want to see my, I don't want to get banned on Bigo, but I can show you my C-section scar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can show you.
Right. Right.
I can show you my scars. So, I can show you my tiger stripes of me, you know what I'm saying, birthing, children. So, but I don't have to, but somebody who is not,
I don't have to prove myself.
yeah, I'm not about to sit there and go back and forth with you on that. So,
They say they say that bees don't waste time explaining to
flour,
flies
yeah,
that honey
flies
tastes better
taste
than.
better than shit. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So that's
Hey,
the way that I look
Ramon.
at it. When it comes to a bully, when it comes to somebody who got something to say about me, listen, I think Cardi B said it best. She said, I don't speak dog. I don't give a fuck what a bitch say.
That part. Period.
Like at the end of the day,
Period.
poo. I woke
Period.
up and I love me today. Okay. So
Period.
your like for me was just a bonus. It was just extra.
Period.
So I don't really care. And so, like Tiff said, that's gonna set us up for our last piece here, our last little messy
Hey,
topic.
Ratatouille.
Um, is identity and self-discovery.
Yes.
So we started with talking about the importance of needing to save ourselves, right?
Mhm.
And to save ourselves, and y'all know I'm super big on self-care, self-love. We have to love ourselves before we can expect anyone else to show us any type of love,
Mhm.
any type of affection, right? So when we are going through life, and we're all going to have issues with struggling with our identity, and that's, we suffer from imposter syndrome, we
Yes.
suffer from who we're allowed to love,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? who we should love, what we should look like, what we should wear. I mean, society is always telling us what to do, where to go, what to eat, what to drink. Listen, I be like so fed up with it. You say a certain topic and all of a sudden your social media is curated. You say the word wedding and all of a sudden your phone is going to show you wedding bands everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to understand that we've got to get back to saving ourselves and understanding that at some point in time in our lives, we're all going to struggle with our identity. Whether we're thinking, are we doing enough? Am I good enough as a wife? Am I good enough as a mom or a dad? Am I, being living up to my parents'
Mm-hmm.
standards or expectations?
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing enough at this job? Okay, social media people, like it's bad in the community if you're a content creator because you're constantly thinking, am I good enough? Right? You get up here, you do your job every day on social media, and then you scroll and you see somebody, and all of a sudden you start to compare yourself to them, right? So it's like we all go through this. And so it's not just when we think about identity, it's not just our gender, our sexuality, our cultural backgrounds. It is who we are as an individual because sometimes, most of the time, actually, when we start healing and we start trying to transition into being a better version of ourselves, then we start to question,
Hey,
is this
Ed.
really me?
Right.
You're trying to find out, is this old version of me, is what I'm letting go who I'm supposed to be, or is who I'm stepping into who I'm supposed to be? So we've got to understand that all of these things can foster messages of acceptance, of authenticity. And we've got to start to embrace ourselves, flaws and all. I literally have a tattoo on my shoulder here that says beautiful disaster,
Mm,
and it is a reminder to me that I'm beautiful just as I am, even on my days when I show up not pretty, right? We all have these feelings of being unpretty, unworthy, unloved. But before we can expect someone else to show us, or before we lean out there for that external validation, we've got to first love on ourselves. Our whole theme at Self Care Club this month is one love. And one love, that first love, is self love.
that's right.
So you've got to love on yourself as you continue on this journey to being a better version of you, because we're not competing with anyone else. Tiff and I do the same thing, and we are not in competition with one another
That's right.
because it's
Right.
me versus me, it is her versus her.
Hmm.
Right? So I got enough love for me that I can easily love and share a platform with her
That's right.
anytime, any day, no matter. Right?
That's right.
So, when you begin to love on yourself, important to yourself, then you get this extra confidence, right? And some people call it conky. No, I'm confident. I'm not conceited. I'm
Hey, it's
confident in who I am,
semester.
and I don't need anybody
Hey, Rapper
to tell me that.
Stretch.
So again, make sure that you are spending a little time cultivating your identity,
Yes.
right? No
Yes.
one else can tell you who you are.
Yes.
You get to say, like, no one else's opinion, no one else's perception of you defines who you are.
Yes.
So if you think you the best, you the best. As Drake said, you the best,
You the
baby. Like,
best.
if that's what you the best.
The best I
And can't nobody put
ever had.
the best I ever had. Best you ever gonna get, honey. If you don't know, you better ask
That's right.
somebody, right?
That's
So make
right.
sure that you're pouring yourself. Um, and all of this, you guys, literally what we just wanted to do is raise awareness to some messy things that we know is happening for all people. And we wanted people to understand that in the midst of all your mess and all the hell and all the drama and all the shit that you were going through in life, that there is a message in there and that you can turn it around. That you can still be the best version of you if you just, take away some of the external validation and, care less about what they think and more about what you think.
Hmm. And so my summary of all of this is,
Yeah.
um at the end of the day, we there are very strategic ways that we can turn our mess into a message. The first step, and you can go to any group, any therapy session, any if you go into AA, whatever it is, the very first thing is that you got to face it. You got to acknowledge it. So that's the first thing. So
Absolutely.
make sure, hi everyone, y'all make sure that you face it. Everyone has made mistakes. Everyone has gone through something. Everyone has been a victim of trauma at some point in time, whether it's trauma that we created for, or that we received from somebody else, or it's trauma that we created for ourselves. We got to face it. The
Absolutely.
second thing is that we have to invite a higher source in to help guide us. Whether that's God, whether that's Allah, whether that's Buddha, whether that's the universe, whatever it is, it could be the trees for all I care. But you have to acknowledge a
Absolutely.
higher source to help you be able to offer guidance and to help you navigate through it. The third thing is reach out. Reach out. When you see something, say something. If you need help, reach out. Don't stop being afraid to speak up. Reach out and speak up. Stop being afraid to ask for help. And the last
Right.
thing that I would say is team up. So the reach out, the speak up, and the team up, those are all kind of synonymous. But the reach out, identify that you need the help. Be willing to say
Right.
something and stop being scared or making or feeling like you are being judged, and team up with like-minded people who going to support you in your journey, who is going to help you, who is going to empower you, who is going to affirm you as you go through this. When you talking about
Hmm.
reaching out, you got two dynamic people right here on this platform who are we are master certified life coaches. So we do this as a
Absolutely.
profession to be able. No, we are not counselors. No, we are not therapists. But we do give good counsel, right? And we can consult with you. We are great listeners, and we can help you. We have activities. We have things that we can do to be able to help you. All right. So that's all we got to
Absolutely.
say. Everybody has the ability to turn their mess into a message. And so we're hoping that,
And
yep, we're hoping that that's what we did to help you all today.
exactly. Like, if nothing else, I want y'all to all walk away understanding that the mess is just part of the
It's a
process.
part of the process.
It's part of the process. And, at the end of the day, we've got to remember, like, these struggles, these setbacks, your greatest struggles give birth to your greatest success, your greatest strengths. So don't run from the mess, right? Just get through it. If you step in poop, don't trek it through the house, wipe it off your shoe.
Yep.
Clean your shoe off and get out there. Keep moving. Just because you stepped in some poo, you might be in a little dark season of your life.
Hmm.
Hey, it's nothing. Joy comes in the morning,
That's right.
right? What they say, the stars only shine in darkness.
That's it.
So you're gonna have to do a little darkness in order to get to the light,
But
and that's
but
okay.
here's the
But
thing.
just understand you don't have to do it by
That's
yourself.
right. But
Like,
here's the
stop
thing
suffering.
though. But here's the thing though, and somebody else had to acknowledge this to me. Even though the stars only shine in darkness, they never go away. The stars are always
Exactly.
there. They're always there. You
Right.
trying to get me to talk further?
No, I just put this for 10 minutes for accountability,
Oh,
girl.
okay, okay,
So we
got
wrap
you,
it up.
got you. Yeah, because I got to get on the road. But yeah. So the thing about the stars is the moon, the stars, the sun. They never leave out of the sky.
Exactly.
They always
Because the sun and the moon shine at the same time.
they
You only
sign
see
at
it
the
from one
same
hand.
time.
Exactly.
They
Exactly. And the thing, I guess the thing to remember is the stars only shine bright in darkness,
yes,
right? But
yes.
they're always out there. You know what I'm saying? So that always means that there's always
There's
potential.
always
There's always a possibility.
potential. Always
There's always
potential.
something
Thank you, Papa
that you can do.
Smurf. It's always
And
potential.
that's what people have to realize. Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Always.
you, Ro. So yeah, I definitely just hope that people really start to embrace that, because I think a lot of us get stuck on
Welcome
that
in,
woe is me.
everybody. Hmm.
You know what I mean? We get stuck on the woe is me, and everybody gets a little comfortable in their misery. And I'm a person where I'm a very solution based person. So, like, I can't even sit with people who are miserable. Like, I could, but I won't. if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so y'all got to start being a little more intentional about who you allow to experience you, and what you're willing to, as my sister likes to say, tolerate. What you tell them, Tiff? What you tolerate?
Listen,
What's it do?
I said you attract what you tolerate, and and what you tolerate is that's what you would so we got to be very careful about attracting certain things that we tolerate,
Mhm.
and our tolerance impacts our growth, right? So we attract, so I'm gonna say it one
Mhm.
more time. We attract what we tolerate, and what we tolerate, that impacts our growth.
Absolutely. And listen, and I'm trying to grow through all the mess that I done gone through, y'all. So, in order for me to continue to grow, in order for me to continue to be on a new level, that next level, that means I got to get
I'm
through
on a
this,
new
and I
level.
can't keep track.
I'm on a new level.
Yeah, listen,
I'm on a new level.
don't get me started. That's how we fit in today's show. But
Yes, with
seriously, I
some good music.
attract negative, negative energy. So I gotta be willing to let some things go. Excuse me.
Yep, yep. So that's what we were talking about today, y'all. Both of us, both myself and life coach, we were actually in rebate. We were doing rebates, and we said, you know what? Why not we just go ahead and team up and help the good of the people. Help, team up for the cause. And so,
For the co-
I
for the
love
family.
for the
It's
family.
for the family.
It's for the family. For the not just the THC family, but for the Bigo family, because we're all a part of the Bigo family. So to our visitors, to everybody that came in, we appreciate y'all coming in. We appreciate y'all listening. Some people been in here since the beginning, and we appreciate y'all for coming in and listening to us and commenting and gifting us, because all of this helps us get to our tiers. So welcome back.
To
Look
our new
forward
level. Look to our new level.
to
Come
get
on.
yeah, y'all helping us level up. Y'all helping us level up. So this last little 5-6 minutes that we got on here, we gonna jam out at this point. Y'all are still welcome to continue to gift us, because we started the PK just to go ahead and finish out the time. But yeah, y'all go ahead and y'all rock out with us. We and continue to ask questions, continue to comment. We appreciate everybody for coming in today for our you said hush, for our little friendly PK, that really wasn't going to be a PK. It was
Y'all like,
just, yeah.
if y'all like this, let us know.
Yes,
Cause I mean, we could do this
we can
on a
do this on a
regular.
regular.
So if y'all like the double trouble combo, let us know.
Right,
Cause
get
we
double
we'll
for your
come back
trouble.
with some more.
Yep, you get double for your trouble. Double for your trouble. I love it. I think it was great. I think it was great. And
Yeah,
we,
I
y'all tell us what topics y'all want to talk about. Oh, look for what was like. Oh gosh, yep. You get double. You get double for your trouble. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This is now, and I tell people all the time, life coach is actually my life coach.
and Tiff is actually my life coach.
So see, so we actually talk
How's
off of the app.
for accountability?
For
Look,
accountability.
how's that shit for
Yeah.
accountability?
Yes. So anyway, so thank y'all.
I
Turn
feel
your
like I
music
need
up.
to work.
Turn your music up, sis.
I put it on, but I think I need to turn it. Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Hold on, let's get it with the hook. Hold up now. I feel like we need to work. So first of all, hold on, because I'm all about the quality of things, and that version was not quality.
Oh,
Here we go. Baby, listen, I'm a DJ's daughter, honey. It got to be crisp. Here we go, y'all.
it sounds kind of distorted on my end, but I think that's just
It's because okay,
Welcome in, everybody. Thank y'all for showing up, coming in and support.
Listen, he said I used to be sleeping in beds with bed bugs and shit. Like even in this song, he talking about being in a low, dirty, messy space. And he like, look at me now. Come on now.
Hey, Rayanne.
He said, I cannot slow down. Make sure y'all give me and Tiff a follow if we not friends already, y'all.
Yes. Welcome in, Brother Dan.
Hey, Pete. I bought me a new shovel. These niggas in the dirt. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing this monthly too. We gotta
I
do
like
it
this.
at least one at a time.
I'm with it
I
for
think
sure.
I think it's kind of cool. We could just do it. I mean, even at that 1 o'clock slot, because this is always the time I would do my events.
Yeah.
So
1 o'clock on Fridays work for me in most cases.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So we'll just do it like once a month.
that works.
Is this the first Friday?
This is the first Friday.
Ooh, okay. So we can start. Look, you want to start just doing it the first
The
Friday of
first
every month?
Friday of every month. Sounds good. Yeah,
Well, no, 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 because of Bigo Payday, we got to make sure we're in the events
that's
too.
right.
But we'll just do it at least one Friday a month. I think that'll be dope.
Right. That works.
Works for me.
Works for me too.
Right. Yeah, because
Yes.
we got the follow train first Friday of each month.
Hmm.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. A new shovel. That's why I'm gonna start telling people I done bought me a shovel, y'all. If you ain't careful, I'm gonna put your ass in the dirt.
Yes.
Tip said,
That's the shovel dance.
right.
That's the shovel
Look,
dance.
not the song ending perfectly with the
Perfectly
PK.
with the
Like
PK.
it literally stopped at the end of the PK. Come on now.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
I
Love
love
it.
it.
Love
Well,
it.
go on. Listen, I'm gonna say my piece and let Tiff end with her piece for y'all. So I absolutely appreciate each and every one of your presence as well as the gifts that you guys have shared. I am so happy that you guys showed up, number one, for yourselves, but then that you stuck around for us. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys for being here. Like I said, if we are not friends already, make sure that you give myself and Tiff a follow. Listen, we real cool people. All right. And we know a little about a lot of things. So, just roll with us. Go
Roll
ahead, Tiff.
with
Let's
it.
live this out.
Yes, yes, yes. So again, thank y'all so much. life coach already kind of already said it. But just thank y'all for coming in and being there for you. We love what we do. We love, this is our purpose. This is our passion. We believe in helping people, and what they, and just like the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. Well, guess what? Healed people heal people. And that's what we
Amen.
do. We pride ourselves on our personal growth, on our personal healing, and we are here to help others go through that journey, whether you are starting off for the first time or whether you are more advanced in your journey of healing. We are here to support you and help you. Make sure that you are following us. Make sure that you tap in to us. And again, thank you for all of the gifts. Thank you to our THC family who came through, showed up, and showed
From
out.
dating.
It's the THC for me. So thank you. So I
Period.
always sign off in one way and one way only. God loves you. I love you. And there's just absolutely nothing you can do about it. So peace and blessings, everybody. We thank y'all for showing up for us. Yay. We gonna do this
Bye.
again, y'all. We gotta do this again.
Period. We could do this shit every
We
weekend,
can
all
do this
right?
every weekend. You and your friends can get with me and my
Get
friends,
with
and
me and
we
my
can be
friends.
friends.
All be friends.
That's about the only thing that Diddy said that made. We ain't gonna talk about Diddy. We ain't gonna talk about my friend. We ain't gonna talk about my friend.
I'm a diddy bop my ass right on out of here. I love y'all.
Yes. Love y'all, everybody.
Love you, sis. Thank you, Tiff.
Yes, thank you too, love.